everyone, it's Rachel. Thank you for joining me in this video. In this video, I'm going to show you a quick video on how to use Cricut printable vinyl using Design Space images. So I typically use Canva a lot, but I did want to show you what you can do as far as the Design Space images for your printable vinyl. So what you're going to want to do is open up Design Space, and then you are going to go ahead and click on Images. And then here they have all the different types of things, the subject, graphics, or themes that you can go ahead and click on. So I have an idea of what I want for my kitchen. So I'm going to click on food and drink. It could be under home and garden. I'm not sure, but we're going to go ahead and click on that. So here are a bunch of SVGs, but I'm looking for an image. So I'm going to go over to the left panel here and filter some of this out by where it says operation type. Go ahead and click on that plus sign. And then you have cut only files, which are your SVGs, draw only, and then you also have the print then cut or cut and draw. So I'm going to click on print then cut, and then you will see all of the printable vinyl or printable images that you can use in your print then cut. So you can just go ahead and sift through all of it. They have a lot of really pretty images, but not really too many that I personally like. I mean, they're all great, don't get me wrong, and I'm not trying to, make any comments towards any of the designers. I just feel like I can find more or have more options, I should probably say, in Canva and some other websites as well. So you can just see there's a list of quite a few of those, but that's actually, I'm not really seeing what I want. So I'm going to go back and maybe try home and garden. And it does show you that the print and cut is still checked, so it still should show all of the print and cut options. So just kind of looking through, I'm kind of into lavender. I really did like this one. In fact, this one was one I was interested in doing, but ended up not doing that one. So I'm going to kind of look through the images that I like. Now, I'm not seeing the one that I'm working with today because I already cut it out just to kind of save time in this video, because this video is just going to be really quick and simple. But if you have, for example, you'll see in a lot of my in the description box, when I find an image in Design Space, you'll see the hashtag, and then you'll have, I think it starts with an M, and then it gives you a series of numbers and letters. That is basically the design reference number in Design Space. So for example, I already have the reference number that we're using for this project. So you'll come up here in your search, and you don't have to change change the category to all. You can just type in the code. So I just went ahead and typed in the code. Just want to make sure that you added the pound symbol or the hashtag symbol first, and then it will populate. Okay, so here's my image. And if you click on, you can either save it if this is one of your favorites or you're contemplating this one. You can hit the plus symbol, that will add it to the canvas, or you can click on cooking utensils or click on the image, and it will give you some other images that are similar to it. And then also, I believe it does give you included with your, so this is a Cricut Access, you have to be Cricut Access to that. And then there used to be, let's say, I thought maybe they took that away. Let me go ahead and hit back real quick. You can click on, no, I thought, unless they took it away in beta, but you used to be able to see the collection from the artist who did it, but I'm not seeing it anymore unless I'm just kind of being blind to it at this point in time. But also, what's nice is you can click on this little icon here, and that will copy the reference number, and you can save it if you have a kind of a reference log or of your images, if that's what you want to do. You also can come over here, and this is going to indicate that this is a print and cut. And then I'm not sure what the 96 stands for, but anyways, you can add to your own collection. Of course, if you find something not right with it, you can report it and or delete it. Okay, so let's go ahead and hit add to canvas. So in beta, it used to, before, because I'm in beta right now, oh, here, I'm looking. It says sets with this image. So this must be the other images that went with this set. So, okay, I was completely blind. I'm assuming that's what that means. Okay, so I'm gonna click on images to kind of back out of it. There is my image. The only bad thing about this one in particular, and why I don't also use Design Space a lot for my clip art or my print and cut, is the fact that you can't ruin the image. Not ruin, you can't remove the background of the image. So this is, you know, basically for all intents and purposes, it's a sticker. So let me go ahead and change the background so you can kind of see what I'm saying. So when you print this, it's going to print all of this. So there's no negative space that gets removed. So just make sure that you take that in mind. I'm putting this on a white background, so it's not going to be too terribly noticeable. And you can't download these images and re-upload them. Again, you can take a screenshot of it by using a snipping tool, but you lose the resolution doing it that way. And there's also a workaround by going through your Files Explorer and then try to find all these files. You could do it that way, but again, I tried it and I honestly can't remember at this point how to do it. But and then you can get the image that way, but again, you'll lose the resolution as well. So the quality of the image is just not really good doing it that way. So and you can tell there's a little bit, the background here is a little bit darker than the natural white. Okay, so I already ended up doing the design. I size it to the size that I need, and I just put meals and memories are made here. And I use, let's see, what font did I use? So I use Betty Lavia, and then I also use, so that looks like it's TWCENMT. So those are the two fonts that I decided to use, and I'm going to use vinyl for it. Now, I did that because I forgot to hit flatten when I already printed this out, so, which is fine. So I'll just use vinyl. If you want this to print out as a one print and cut, what you'll do is highlight the whole thing and come over here in your layers panel and click on flatten. And then when you do that, you can see that the font color size kind of changes because now this is all one image. Okay, so it will print this whole thing out, and then you'll just read it like normal. But because I forgot to hit flatten, I end up having to do meals and memories are made here. I had to cut that out with vinyl. I didn't feel like wasting, I didn't want to waste any of my printable vinyl. So just be mindful of doing that. Now, another reason why I typically don't use Design Space for, I mean, I do, but I don't. Just because it's cheaper to use vinyl for the wording, but for the printable vinyl for the image. But if I was really particular about the color of my words, then like, for example, I'm using black, so I'm okay with just using vinyl. But let's say I really wanted meals and memories are made here, and I really want it to match, like, let's say this darker brown or maybe the silver here on the utensils, the kitchen utensils, then, you know, you can't, Design Space doesn't have an eyedrop like Canva does, which means like I select my font and then I can click on like somewhere on the color of this background here, and it will take that color on whatever I selected. So Design Space does not do that. Canva will. So if if the color matters to you, like you really want it to match something in the image, then use Canva and use their images. And then if you don't really care and you want to do vinyl, then I'd say do it in Design Space. But that's just my 2 cents. Okay, let's go ahead and switch over to my craft table, and we'll go ahead and get this all completed. Okay, so I have my blank here. It's from Hobby Lobby, and I bought quite a few of these, and it just had an Easter bunny on there with glasses. It was super cute, and I actually kept one for Easter. And it has this little kickstand, and it's just going to sit up like this in my kitchen. I absolutely love it. Okay, so as I mentioned before, I already printed this out prior to this video, only because I didn't want to show the process. I figured you guys kind of know the process of printing and then put it on your Cricut machine, because it's no different than putting your vinyl on the machine. But anyway, I also have another tutorial I got to make tonight, and it involves another print and cut, and I didn't want to waste 2 separate pieces of paper, so I thought I would just print it all at the same time. and that way I wouldn't have to waste so much printable vinyl. So again, this is just like a sticker essentially for this one. This is one downfall about if you really find an image that you really like, it's wonderful, but at the same time, it has its drawbacks because you can't remove that background. Now, if I had this in Canva, I would be able to remove that. Okay, so this one, I will admit, if this is going to bother you, you might want to look away or fast forward because this is going to waste a little bit of vinyl because I attached the top and bottom words together, and only because I don't have a lot of time to craft tonight, and I'm okay with wasting a little bit. I spare when I can. I buy, you know, all my blanks very cheap, and I say blanks because they're not really blanks, but you guys get what I mean. I buy them very cheap, and I buy basically the vinyl on clearance, so I'm okay with wasting vinyl here and there when I can just make it a little bit easier on myself. So again, if that bothers you, by all means, you know, maybe cut a little square around it to save yourself the vinyl, but it's just not going to be worth my time today. And I have a lot of this black anyways that I need to get through before it goes bad. So again, I'm just weeding out my middles first, and the reason why I am doing that is because my text is super small, and I worry about if I weed out the middles after I weed out the negative space, then it might make it a little difficult for it to be weeded out because it doesn't have much to hold on to because everything's been weeded out. So I recommend that if it's super, super tiny and delicate, reverse weed. That's always my first recommendation. And then if it's not as tiny, but you know, still kind of like you're kind of worried about how well it's going to weed out the middles, then I would weed out the middle first and then go ahead and weed out the negative space. But this is going to tell you how old this is. This is, I should say Paper Studio. Yeah, see, it says Paper Studio, and they no longer sell Paper Studio. So I told you I have a lot of this black vinyl I need to get through before it goes bad. But anyway, I have never been disappointed by Paper Studio. I absolutely love it. So here's the waist. Turn away, guys. Okay. So you just want to take it slow, making sure that you don't make sure you don't forget those little dots to your eyes. There we go. Sorry, it's upside down. Okay, so I think I just need to move that into place. So meals and memories are made here. Perfect. So I don't need that anymore. And let's go ahead and get out my transfer tape. So I think this should be good to go. In fact, I think what I'm going to do, yeah, this is going to be too flimsy too. I'm going to put it on here first because, well, actually, I don't need to do that. Let me go ahead and there we go. Okay. Yeah, because that will be just fine. All right. Just trying to think of if I should put this on here first, but I don't think it really matters. And then go ahead and just trim up some transfer tape just to piece them together. Now you can do that as long as they overlap. All right. I'm going to be careful because I still have part of that ampersand visible. Okay. I see that I've been inspiring a lot of people to do print and cut. I absolutely love it. I don't know, it just elevates the game, and I'm really surprised more people don't do print and cut. All right, there we go. So now I am going to place this here. Good. Oh, Okay, that is ripping up. It's okay. Be very careful. Okay, that's all right. Probably really should have sanded it better than I did. Sanded all that paper off and then painted it, but I thought it would be just fine. Just have some of that paper that's lifting here. There we go. Okay. So this is done for. And I'm actually going to see if I can just put this on like a sticker. It's very flimsy, but I'm going to go ahead and try anyways. Not something I would recommend. In Design Space, there was that border that went around here was underneath this, and I didn't know that. So I didn't have enough space for this to be on here, so I had to fussy cut it a little bit just so that way. I'm just going to go ahead and try to trim out the areas that I missed. Okay, so that way I can fit this on here better. Okay, so let's go ahead and get this placed. Okay, there we go. Let me go ahead and use my fingers. I don't want to scrape this up. And there we go. So there definitely is a difference between the whites. So I think if I would have painted it, it would have been fine. But just kind of keep that in mind when you're selecting your images. Make sure there's, you know, no border and like there's something in between each one, so that way you can see the surface on the back. Unless of course it makes sense for it to be like that. But overall, I don't think it's that bad. I think I may end up redoing this just because I don't like that this is white and then this is not. It's like an off-white. But overall, I think that it's, you know, it still gets the point across, right? But that is how you use Design Space images. Learn through my mistakes. Again, it's not necessarily, I usually don't use their images a whole lot. Like I said, I use Canva pretty often for most of everything, if not a few other websites. But I'll definitely link this one in the description box, and of course the text information as well. All right, thanks for watching. I'll see you in the next one.